Welcome back, my friends. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is Silver Slayer, so now let's talk silver. Imagine how incredible it would be getting some silver shipped straight to your front doorstep for free. All you had to do is click a button for that to possibly happen. Imagine that. Well, folks, that's a reality if you click subscribe to this channel. Several opportunities because as we approach 100,000 subscribers, I'm going to be doing multiple massive giveaways, giving away a disgustingly large amount of silver. So make sure you subscribe and stay tuned, and may the luckiest stackers win. Let's check out this video. Silver market update. Upcoming move, momentum, and magnitude will be spectacular. We also have another one. Could gold and silver go parabolic in 2023? A lot of people are bullish right now. So let's actually check out what silver's price is doing. Right now, silver's at $23.61. Let's look at the 3-month chart. 3-month chart, definitely, it was down to, we saw it as low as, and if you look at the 6-month chart, we saw it as low as $17, $16. We were talking about $15, $16 silver, but now we're up to almost double that if we approach 30. So yeah, big things happening. I think that 2023 is going to be a huge year for silver, and I think this is the start. I don't think we're going to be seeing $13, $14 silver anymore. I think those days are over. So anyways, yeah, I want to see what they say on this on this market update, because they're talking about some big moves, and I want to see their reasoning. That's the most important. Why? Anyone could say silver's going to reach $100 this year, but if they don't explain why, then they're not saying much. So let's see what they have to say. Let's talk silver. The silver market is expected to face a huge supply deficit. And yes, I'm glad that people are finally catching on that there is a shortage. Demand for silver bars and coins itself is expected to jump by 18% year over year. Silver prices could hit a new high this year, possibly outpacing gold prices. Now, this is extremely bullish to say that silver would break above $50. Insufficient supplies of silver, as well as its tendency to be a better performer than gold in periods of high inflation, are key drivers supporting the outlook. That's a really good point. Silver is extremely volatile, and actually one of these articles talking about silver being extremely volatile. One of these is, maybe it's this one. I don't know. There's another article that I was checking out talking about how volatile silver really is and why you got to be careful, because yes, higher highs but also lower lows. I call it gold on steroids. Some people call it the devil's metal, riskier version, because yes, there's a lot of profit, but there's also a lot of room for loss as well. So here's a technical analysis. Silver prices fell rather hard during the trading session on Monday to kick off the week on its back foot. So at this point, it looks like it's going to be careening into the $23 level, an area that has been important more than once. And because of this, I think we are setting up for a big fight at the 50-day EMA and the $23 level, an area that I think will be difficult to break through. However, I'm not saying it's impossible. After all, the momentum is rather vicious, so it will be interesting to see whether or not this holds up. If it does, then we could see it going to the $24 level, but right now I think we need to see a little bit of stability before I put my money at work. And that's actually a good point. You know, even if, and let's check out, we'll go to like this real quick. I want to show you guys what I mean. Let's go to like the 6-month chart. So stability is huge, like the 1-month chart even. We've seen silver go from $16. This is a perfect chart, the 3-month chart. Right, we've seen it go from 16 to 19, then all the way up to 22, and stability is very important. If it just goes straight up to 25, 26 without sitting at 24, maybe go back down to 23, 23.50, and then it goes to 24.70, and then down to 23.70, and then up to 25, and then down to 24. If it doesn't do that, if it just goes from $23.61 up to, let's say, $25 within a couple of days, it's going to correct back down. The price needs to stabilize as it goes upwards. A correction is actually correct. Now we're only talking about a dollar difference, so I don't think it would make that much of a difference, and I'm sure it could hold. But they do make a good point when they say that the price needs to stabilize a little bit. You never want something to just go up, 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 because then it's going to go down, down, down. The biggest concern I have now is the fact that the candlestick is so huge that it obviously suggests that there was real fear in this move. And that's because of this, I think it pays to sit back and wait for the market to tell you what it's going to do next. Keep in mind that silver is extraordinarily volatile, so therefore you should keep your position size reasonable, as a most certainly cause you headaches if you are not careful. I do think that eventually you should get a nice opportunity, but be cautious. Now, this is more for the traders, the day traders, maybe people on the COMEX or whatever, the SLV, PSLV. For people that just buy the physical metal, you don't have to worry about that type of stuff. And I think that's such a good thing, by the way, that we just get to buy it, throw it in our safe, and hold it. You don't got to worry about the day-to-day prices. And if you are someone that worries about the day-to-day prices, if you are someone that sees silver down maybe 10% on the day, you get worried. Or if silver isn't doing what you want it to be doing, you're starting to lose faith or whatever, then you're in it for the wrong reasons, and you might need to relook what makes silver valuable, because we're not talking about silver making you rich. Silver is what makes you rich. Silver is wealth. The dollar is what's worthless. And if you're pegging silver's success to what the dollar does, then you're looking at it backwards. Structural changes in the silver market. We already mentioned that a shortage in the physical silver market is brewing, and that's an epic development, a game changer. But there must be more, much more. So if we should be able to verify these data points in an objective way, that's what we will do in the remainder of this article. So that's interesting. Let's see what their other points are. So in the reminder of this article, we will provide 3 more data points that are game changers in the silver market. They coincide with the bullish reversal pattern, which we believe is a long-term and lasting bottom. In the end, all these 4 data points are related to each other. It's a matter of connecting the dots. So let's look at this. And Ted Butler, obviously, kind enough to release most data points we'll mention. So I've covered a lot of Ted Butler stuff. I'm sure and there you go, I could already see the first sentence. He's talking about the COMEX facade, right? And that's because all this silver that's on the COMEX is supposed to be equal 1-to-1 ratio as it's in the physical world, but that's not the case. There's so much more digital silver than there is physical, meaning that the price is off balance. Because if everyone tried to turn in their contracts on the COMEX would get exposed. Theoretically, they say every 250 ounces on the COMEX, there's only 1 actual ounce. So that means every ounce you hold in your hand, 250 other people think they own that same ounce, but they don't. And that's why I always say the phrase, if you can't hold it, you don't own it. And there we go. The issue of the physical silver turnover into the silver warehouses is a topic that remains underexposed. Ted Butler's take on this is that the symptom of physical silver shortage. And that's where he talks about, once the COMEX facade gets exposed, silver's true price will start to shine. And we could actually cover this because this is some really important stuff. If you guys think we're just theorizing or brewing up some conspiracy about the COMEX and all that, that's not the case. This is real. So let's look at this. I believe that the extraordinary physical turnover in the COMEX silver warehouse is the surest possible sign anyone could ever get in advance that the physical shortage is close at hand. I know that it has been going on for 12 years. 12 years since this physical movement began. So who the heck am I to suggest it is signaling we are close to the point where a silver shortage will soon be highly visible and unmanageable? I'd answer that, taken together with all the other extraordinary developments over time, from JP Morgan accumulating 1 billion ounces of silver and 30 million ounces of gold, maybe more. and then gold physical position to then settling with the DOJ and double crossing its fellow big COMEX shorts to more things that I can recite here. It's the totality of the issues. I would point out that it's been nearly 3 months where total COMEX silver warehouse inventories, after declining sharply over the past 2 prior years as much as 100 million ounces, and yes, that's a fact. I can also I can also stand by that. It's been 100 plus million ounces deficit, and we've now hovered around the 300 million ounce level, yet the turnover persists. Without getting too deep into the weeds, this suggests to him that we may be actually at the point where only new stuff brought in can satisfy new demands for physical silver, and where the silver in warehouses are owned by those who are not interested in selling. Yes, this is very speculative on my part, and it could easily turn out that we're not as close as I suggest. And then when you also incorporate that the price is manipulated, right? That they've been getting away with this for way too long. But I do think the fundamentals, which have the biggest effect on silver's price, I do think the fundamentals will outweigh any type of manipulation. And I do think the COMEX will eventually collapse. We've seen it happen before with other metals, and I don't think that this facade can hold up much longer, especially as the supply deficits are growing at such a fast pace, especially given this new green era where silver is needed in ways we've never seen before. So I think that this is a very, very good article, and there we go, what I was just talking about. While silver is a monetary metal, much of its value is derived from industrial demand. Right, there we go. Talking about 5G, talking about EVs, talking about solar panels, all of these things. This is a new frontier, right? Every automobile company by the year 2030 is going to be an EV. So if we already can't keep up with the demand, and demand is going to be doubling, tripling over the next decade plus, then where is that silver going to come from? Recycling? That's not going to put a dent in this situation. So we're talking about some very, very valid points that aren't just theorizing or assuming. This is real stuff. And given the numbers that have been coming out from the Silver Institute, shows the numbers don't lie. And if they think that we have enough silver to go green, then they're going to be brutally awakened when silver's true price starts to shine. It's very good points. It's estimated around 60% of silver is utilized in industrial applications like solar and electronics, leaving only 40% for investing. And then that 40% for investing, nobody's selling it. As the metal with the highest electrical and thermal conductivity, silver is ideally suited for solar panels. About 100 million ounces of silver are consumed per year for this purpose alone. And then remember, those solar panels are thrown away in landfills, never to be recycled. So the silver is getting thrown away that is being used. This figure is expected to rise in the coming years with continued growth of electricity demand and renewable energy aspirations, all pointing to rising solar power penetration. I mean, solar panel demand was up 15% this year alone. Then they go into 5G. So this is stuff that, and right here, look at these numbers. Silver Institute expects silver demand by 5G to move more than double from its current 7.5 million to around 16 million ounces by 2025, as much as 23 million ounces by 2030, which represent a 206% increase from current levels. But we already can't keep up with the demand. And then we have supply pulling back about 5-6 years ago. So we have a rising demand, rapidly rising demand, but a diminishing supply. Investing 101, low supply, high demand, shoots the price up. And then you're talking about demand exceeding 1.21 billion ounces this year. In 2023, supposed to be even higher, but supplies around 900 million. Mine production was 843 million ounces. It was 900 million ounces in 2016. So there's a huge supply deficit. So given all this, what does that mean? What does all that mean for silver and gold for 2023? The falling inflation rate and weakening economic momentum imply the Fed may become less aggressive in raising interest rates. Any sign of a more dovish monetary policy should be positive for silver and support the upward trend that started in November 2022. Moreover, as the U.S. economy loses momentum, recession worries should intensify, strengthening the safe haven demand for precious metals. Counterintuitively, the price of silver declined yesterday, but it could be more of a normal correction. So ignore the market noise, but focus on the fundamental trends. And that's what I always say. The fundamentals, right? The macro more than the micro. The micro, the day-to-day stuff, the week-to-week stuff is irrelevant. Look at the macro, the bigger picture. When you step outside and look at the bigger picture, it's obvious where silver is headed. So yeah, I'm going to wrap this video up here. Remember, I am doing some big giveaways. You're not going to want to miss this stuff, folks. And also make sure you protect yourself from the Silver Slayer impersonators in my comment section. It's so sad that these thieves, these low-life people have to scam innocent stackers to make a living. It's just not right, and I hope you guys protect yourself and protect each other in the comments. Look out for each other, because people are still falling for this. I try my best to bring awareness, try to always talk about it in my videos and post comments, and delete these comments, report these profiles, block these profiles, but they just keep popping up. So make sure you protect yourself. Anyways, thanks for tuning in. This was Silver Slayer. I'll see you guys soon. Peace.